click the Start button on the taskbar. If Excel 2016 does not display on the Start menu, click in the Search Programs and Files and type E, and notice that Excel 2016 displays as the first item on the Start menu. Click Excel 2016 and select Blank Workbook. In cell A1, type the worksheet title, Geek to Geek T-shirt sales. Notice that what you type displays in the formula bar. Press the Enter key. In cell A2, enter the worksheet subtitle for the year ended December 31, 2016, and press the Enter key. In cells A3 through F3, enter the column titles. Seller, press the Tab key. Freshman, Tab. Sophomores, Tab. Juniors, Tab. Seniors, Tab. Totals. Press the Enter key. With your cursor in the shape of a large white plus sign, click in cell A3 and drag through cell F3 to highlight the range. Press the center icon on the alignment group. Click anywhere in the worksheet to deselect. With your cursor in cell A4, be sure that your cursor has the shape of a large white plus sign. Drag from A4 to E4 and down to row 7. You will have highlighted the adjacent range A4 through E7. Type the worksheet data. Student 1, enter. Student 2, enter. Student 3, enter. Student 4, enter. Your cursor moves to column B, ready to enter the numeric data. You do not need to type the $sign. If you have any decimal places, you would need to type the period and the decimal places. Type 200, enter. 300, enter. 250, enter. 350, enter. Your cursor moves to column C, ready to enter that data. 150, enter. 220, enter. 250, enter. 200, enter. 220, enter. 175, enter. 230, enter. 125, enter. 340, enter. 360, enter. 150, enter. 400, enter. Click anywhere in the worksheet to deselect. Save the document in the student data files. Click the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar. Navigate to the location of your data files. Double-click on the Excel folder. Double-click on Excel. Excel, Excel Module 1, and change Book 1 to Geek T-shirt sales, and click Save. Click in cell A8 and type the word Totals. Tab. Use the Sum function to insert row totals in column F and column totals in row 8. I'm going to show you several ways to do this and then end up with the easiest method. In cell B8, go to the editing group and click the Sum down arrow. Select Sum. Equals sum B4 through B7 displays in cell B8 and in the formula bar. Press the Enter key. Click in cell B8. You could type the same thing in cell C8, but there's an easier way. Move your cursor to the bottom right corner of cell B8. There's a small green square. Your cursor turns to a black plus sign. This is called the fill handle. Click and drag to the right till you are in column E, row 8. Release. You use the fill handle to copy formulas. Click in cell F4. With your cursor in the shape of a large white plus sign, highlight F4 through F8. Click the down arrow beside the sum in the editing group and select Sum. The row totals are calculated. Click anywhere in the workbook. Now you notice that you could always click in each cell and use the sum function, or you can click in one cell, use the sum function, and then use the fill handle to copy the formula. Now you are going to undo your sum. Move to the Quick Access toolbar and click the Undo Typing until you have removed all of the totals. This is the easiest way to sum both columns and rows at the same time. Click in cell B4. With your cursor in the shape of a large white plus sign, click and drag through column F and down through row 8. You have highlighted all of the numeric data, including the blank total rows. Click the Sum down arrow in the editing group and select Sum. You have totaled both rows and columns at the same time. Click anywhere in the workbook to deselect. Click in cell A1. Apply the title cell style to cell A1. In the Styles group, click the Cell Styles down arrow and select Title. Increase the font to 28 points. Click the Font Size down arrow in the Font group and select 28. Click in cell A2. In the Styles group, click the Cell Styles down arrow and select Title. You want the subtitle to be slightly smaller than the title, so you will not change the font size. To insert a heading cell style below the column headings in row 3, click in cell A3 until you see the large white plus sign. Click and drag through F3. In the Styles group, click the Cell Styles down arrow, and in the Titles and Headings group, select a heading style. Move your cursor over heading 1. That looks a bit large. Heading 2, better. Heading 3 still has an underline, but it seems to be a more appropriate size. Deselect. To format row 8 with a total cell style, click in cell A8 and drag through F8. Click the Cell Styles down arrow in the Styles group and select Total. Click to deselect. To format the numeric data, highlight the two non-adjacent ranges B4 through F8 and apply the accounting format. So first we want to select B4 through F4. B4 through F4. Release the mouse, hold down the Control key, and click in cell B8 and drag through F8. Always remember to release the mouse and then hold down the Control key when selecting non-adjacent ranges. In the number group, click the $sign, which is the accounting number format. Your numbers display with $signs at the left of the cell and 2 decimal places. Click to deselect. To add a thousandth separator, add 2 decimal places to cells B5 through F7. Click in cell B5 and drag through F and down to row 7. You have highlighted the range B5 through F7. In the number group, click the comma, which formats with a thousandths separator. Notice the comma and the 2 decimal places. Deselect. We now want to center the title across columns A through F and the subtitle across columns A through F. Click in cell A1. Now I want to show you what would happen if you simply used the center icon. It tries to center the entire title across column A. This does not work. So I'm going to click the Undo button and click in cell A1 and drag through F1. In the alignment group, click the Merge and Center icon. The title is centered above columns A through F. Click in cell A2 and drag through F2. Click the Merge and Center icon in the alignment group. click to deselect. You may have noticed that cell C3 does not display fully. To fix this, we are going to use a feature called AutoFit. We are going to AutoFit each of the columns. Click on the A until you see a down-pointing black arrow. Drag to the right until you have highlighted column F. Place your cursor between any two letters that are highlighted and double-click. Notice that each of the columns have changed the width either smaller or larger to accommodate the data. Click in the worksheet to deselect. In cell A10, type the label for dollars of unsold t-shirts. And press the Enter key. In cell F10, insert a formula to determine the dollars of unsold t-shirts. The original inventory was $5,000. To start a formula, type the equal sign. Type 5,000 minus, and the dollars of sold inventory is in F8. Click on cell F8. So in cell F10 you have equal 5,000 minus F8. Notice it also displays in the formula bar. Press the Enter key. Now we are going to insert a pie chart that displays a percent of t-shirts sold by each student. Give the chart a title of t-shirt sales by student and apply the Chart 3 style. First, we are going to highlight A3 through A7. Click in cell A3 until you see the large white plus sign. Drag through A7. Hold down the Control key and drag through F3 through F7. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the Charts group, click the pie down arrow and select 3D. Click on Totals and click in the formula bar and type T-shirt sales by student and press the Enter key. Now we can see the t-shirt sales by each student. Blue is student 1, orange is student 2, gray is student 3, and gold is student 4. But we really can't see what percentage each student sold. So we are going to click the chart styles. And as we scroll down and look at these, we can see that style 3 has percentages. Notice it shows on the chart. Click, and we have now applied style 3 to the chart. Notice that this chart, which is called an embedded chart, sits on top of the data in the worksheet. We are going to move the chart to a new worksheet. In the Location group, click Move Chart. Click on New Sheet, and we're going to name this new sheet T-shirt sales by student. And click OK. Notice that we now have a new worksheet called T-shirt sales by student. Now we are going to insert a column chart that displays the sales by student and class. We will give the chart a title of T-shirt sales by student and class. Click on the Sheet 1 tab to display the worksheet data. Click in cell A3 and drag through E7. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the Charts group, click the Column Chart down arrow and select 3D. Click on Chart Title, click in the formula bar and type T-shirt sales by student and class, and press the Enter key. Now we will move the chart to a new worksheet. Click on the Move Chart icon in the Location group. Click the New Sheet option and type Sales by Student and Class, and click OK. A new worksheet displays to the left of Sheet 1. We're going to rename the Sheet 1 tab because it's not very descriptive. So right-click, choose Rename, and we are going to name this T-shirt sales, and press the Enter key. Now we will change the tab color of all three tabs. First, right-click on T-shirt sales, tab color, and I'm going to use the blue, orange, and gold. Blue for this one, right-click, tab color, I'm going to choose the orange, and for the T-shirts, sales by student, right-click, tab color, I'm going to choose the gold. Notice as you click on a tab, the others become brighter, and you switch between each tab. When I open the worksheet, I would like to see the T-shirt sales data first before I see the charts. So I'm going to move the T-shirt sales worksheet before the chart. Click on T-shirt sales. You'll see an up-pointing white arrow in a sheet of paper and a black triangle to the left of the Sheet tab. Drag up and over the other two tabs until the down-pointing black arrow displays before the other two. Release, and now you have T-shirt sales by student, and sales by student and class. Click in cell A1 and click the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar to save the changes. Let's preview the worksheet to see if all of the data displays on one page. Click the File tab on the ribbon to enter Backstage View. Click the Print option. Notice that the short edge of the paper is across the top. All of the data fits on one page. We are in Portrait Orientation. If it did not fit, we could select the Portrait Orientation down arrow and select Landscape Orientation. The page is now with the top edge along the top. Click the Back button to return to the active document in normal view. Click the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar to save your change. Close the Geek to Geek T-shirt sales worksheet.